Welcome to the Progressive Action TV show. I know it's real strange that you guys see me actually do a show 2 days back to back, but there's a lot of stuff going on that I must address, that I must talk about, and that's just how things go. I don't know. I can't take this phone call right now. The show is way more important right now than a phone call. How y'all doing out there though? Y'all know y'all must share out the show. So we like to start out the show by having you guys share what's going on and share out the show, do the right thing. And I'm going to do it myself while we're talking. Make sure everything is all good with these streams. But as usual, we have a lot of stuff to talk about today. And we also have a special guest that we're going to bring in. Y'all going to get to see who he is. And we making unity moves. That's what I like to call it. We making unity moves. Let me start a watch party in Progressive Action. Now, this is what I need you guys to do. When you guys share out the show, I need you guys to share out the show other than Progressive Action. I got Progressive Action. Don't worry about that. I need you guys to share out the show on your main page and other groups that you in. Those are the people who must see what's going on with Progressive Action. And you guys know, if you want to donate to the show, you could donate via Cash App, Progressive Action 100. You could also donate via PayPal. The PayPal is Progressive Action, and you also could donate via something called Patreon. Patreon is a monthly subscription. You'll be donating to a great cause called Progressive Action. And like I said, right now, if you're watching the live, please share it out. It's very important. A few important things to talk about today. A few important things. I don't normally do this. I normally don't give birthday shout outs on Progressive Action, but I would like to shout out my brother, Roberto Martinez. Happy birthday. It's my brother right there, man. I got to show him love, man. Happy birthday. Be safe, man. I know you out there in Puerto Rico enjoying the sun and things of that nature. When you get back, you already know that is business, man. So everybody wish Roberto a happy birthday. Now, we're going to jump straight into this thing. Because the MTA, they've been moving real weird, and I haven't been understanding what's been going on with these guys. They've been moving really weird, and they think that we stupid. We really don't have anyone advocating for us on the front line. Forget about what the union is doing. The union isn't doing much. They playing from behind. They not really protecting us like they should, and it's pretty sad if you ask me. But you want to know what? Us members, we sit there and we take it. We sit there and we take it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So I know that you guys have been receiving this email. I received this email, I think about 2 days straight. And it says, sound the horn, heroes moving heroes, right? So it was supposed to happen today, Thursday, 5/21/2020 at 1500 hours. For those who don't know, that's 3 p.m. The MTA will honor its dedicated employees. All BOs should sound their horns with 2 1-second horn blasts. We also not only been getting emails, but we've been getting texts with the same thing. And it's cool. It's a show of appreciation. But it also shows me something else. It shows me that the MTA always had a way to communicate with us. We getting emails from them now. We getting texts from them now. They always had a way to communicate with us. Why didn't they send these emails out to find out where we didn't have PP at in some of these locations. Why didn't they do that? Why didn't they text us to say, hey, if you don't have PPE at Stillwell, send us a text and we're going to get PP there over there to you? Why didn't the MTA do that? It's out. They got a way to communicating with us. We getting their emails, we getting their texts. If they wanted to protect us like they said they would have sent out emails and texts to ask us, hey, do you have PPE? Do you have a face shield? Do you got gloves? Do you have antibacterial wipes? Do you have hand sanitizer? Do you have anything? They don't do that. They use this to their own, whatever they want to use it for. That's what they do it for. And it's messed up because no one holds them accountable besides progressive action. Like I said, pay no attention to what the union is doing. The union is showing up after. And like I said this on Twitter today. Matter of fact, let me put up the Twitter handle. The Twitter handle just popped up on the screen. It's at Progressive Act. I advise you guys to get Twitter and follow that page. But the union and the MTA, their actions is like watching a movie starting from the end. So picture watching Scarface and you're starting the movie at the end and watching it in reverse to the beginning. Picture watching Goodfellas at the end and going into reverse to the beginning. They are reactive instead of proactive. They do things backwards. They wait for all these deaths to come before they decide to take action, and it really don't make no sense. It make no sense whatsoever. For those who's watching live with us right now, could you please take a minute to share out the video? Just 1 minute. I got some more sharing to do. Give me 1 second. Take 1 minute to share out the video. These videos don't mean anything until people other than us hear it. Just take 1 minute. 1 minute of your time to share it out. We're going to get into some good stuff later. And like I said, I got a special guest on the show today. You guys should love it. You guys should really love it. Okay. So everyone know that the MTA new claim to fame is the trains are clean. Oh my God, we have clean trains. The trains are so clean. And they bragging and boasting about clean trains. So if they bragging and boasting about clean trains, let me put a picture of a clean train up. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see the trains clean like this. These trains are clean, right? But the MTA bragging about, these trains are so clean. They clean. They are clean. What was the MTA doing before that now they got to brag about clean trains? Were the trains ever clean before? We complained about that, us workers, about having to work in filth, urine, vomit, feces, blood. But now the trains is clean and the MTA feel that we should be happy that the trains is clean. What were they doing before? If the trains are disinfected now, what were they doing before? They wasn't disinfecting the trains. They wasn't cleaning these trains. In fact, before this pandemic hit, they was basically laying off cleaners, and not really laying off, but what they was doing when the cleaners was retiring or when the cleaners was going to a new title, they didn't fill those positions up. That's called attrition. So the cleaner title actually got smaller through attrition, which is the same thing as laying off or whatever the case is. You're not filling the position up. So that's what the MTA was doing. And I'm going to give you guys some knowledge on how the differences between cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting. So what is the MTA really doing? Are they cleaning? Are they sanitizing? Are they disinfecting? Like, what's going on here? So I put up this poster to explain what cleaning is. So cleaning, they say, removes visible dirt and debris. It should be done on a routine basis. You could use a piece of cloth to clean most surfaces. That don't happen in New York City Transit. Now it probably happened, but I guarantee you that doesn't happen right. It didn't happen before this pandemic hit in New York City Transit. Sanitizing reduces the number of germs on a surface. Frequently touched surfaces must be sanitized often. You need to buy alcohol-based sanitizers to get the job done. For all those who work in depots, who work in crew rooms, the subways, who work in offices, how often who operate buses, who in train cabs, how often are those surfaces sanitized? They not sanitized often, right? And these are frequently touched places. In Stillwell, you could have 200-300 people or 100 to 200 people come through there on a daily basis. Those surfaces are not frequently sanitized. Now, disinfecting, it stops the spread of viruses by killing pathogens. The MTA never disinfected, really. Not on this scale. They should always want to disinfect just because of the volume of people that they have constantly coming through the system. They should always want to disinfect, but for some reason, they don't do it. For some reason, they do not do it. So, like I said, what was the MTA doing before? I would love to know, what was the MTA doing before? Can someone answer that? What was the MTA doing before? I'm about to look at y'all comments in a second. I'm trying to get something straight over here. What was the MTA doing before? Let's see what you guys are saying. Right, the MTA is letting the weight fall on the crews. But like I said, the disinfectant stops the spread of viruses by killing pathogens. It should always be done when someone in-house is sick. We always have sick coworkers. And only medically approved disinfectants should be used. The MTA was not disinfecting before, ladies and gentlemen. And for the people who's watching, that's not a part of the MTA, it's very important that you guys know what goes on at our agency, because they do not care about the passengers. They do not care about the workers. And if they don't care about us, they definitely do not care about you guys. And that's for a fact. That's for a fact. Now, yesterday, I had released the LM2s. And I just want to bring up a quick point real quick regarding the LM2s. For those who don't know, the LM2s is a document that shows how the union spent the money for the past, the year before. So it's 2020. The LM2s show you what they spent from the whole 2019. It tells you their salaries. It tells you what they spend on consultants. It tells you what they spend on services, software. No matter what the case is, it shows you. But I just want to bring up two quick points regarding that. Everybody want to know this question. They always want to know this question. How many members are in the union? There's 46,487 members in Local 100, and there is 3,887 members in bad standing. Everybody always say, there's a lot of people in bad standing. Really, 3,887 people in bad standing is bad, but compared to the numbers of the people who can vote, there's over 40,000 members that can vote, and they do not vote. They do not participate in a union, and we got to find a way how to get these people active and participating in union stuff. Another thing I would like to point out is this document that shows you how much money the union spent last year. No, matter of fact, this document is from 2018. This one is from 2018. So the union spent a total of $33,480,011 total money spent in 2018 in the union. And one of the things that Utano said, like when Eric had asked them for more officers to help in RTO, he said he couldn't do it because he cut everybody's staff levels, and he was looking to save money. That was a lie. In 2019, I think I put it on the screen. 2019, last year, the total disbursements was $34,444,951. So he actually lied and said that he wanted to save money in the budget when he actually increased it by almost $1 million. And what they do in a situation like that is that when you mismanage money, when there's no accountability, no one challenges what's going on, the E-Board is in line with, except RTO. RTO E-Board members doing a fantastic job. But the other E-Board members, they don't hold the president accountable or the secretary treasurer accountable on their spending. So they end up spending $1 million more. The money could have went to releasing their friends to do at-home work, no work. You know, all these officers are released and you rarely see an officer in the field. I think that that's a major problem in this union. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Tony Utano said that they were cutting the budget. They wanted to save money, and he actually spent $1 million more. He needs to be held accountable for that. Seriously. I don't know if you guys pay attention to these Cuomo press conferences, but it's very important that we pay attention to these Cuomo press conferences because he gives out what he calls facts. They are really opinions, and it's false information. So let's get into this Cuomo clip of him saying that all transit workers were tested for the coronavirus. Let's listen to what he got to say.
The caution flag is they keep changing the facts on us. You know, we make a decision based on facts. But then the facts change, and you revisit the same decision with a different set of facts, and it's different. Well, if you get this disease, you have antibodies, and then you're immune. Okay, so let's plan that all the people who test positive for antibodies, they can be the workforce that goes back safely because they can't get infected again. They can't get reinfected. That was the fact they gave us. So we test, that's why antibody tests came up. That's why there was such a demand. We do the antibody test. You're positive for antibodies. You're cleared to go back to work. Okay. Hold on. We're not sure about that anymore. Well, what do you mean? You said if they had the antibodies, they were immune. Yeah, but now we're not so sure. Okay. New set of facts. Children are not affected. Okay. Let's see what we do about camps. Let's see what we do about school. Hold on. Children may be affected. This inflammatory syndrome is more frightening than COVID respiratory illness in some ways because it inflames what it is. But the more we look, the more we find it. And in 1 week, we double the number of countries who now found it, and we double the number of states. What do you do about
Everybody know that Cuomo is following the wrong facts. I don't even know where he's getting his information from. But it doesn't seem legit. Now, Cuomo is saying that they are saying antibodies may not protect you and you can get affected a second time. Remember, before he was saying that the antibodies would protect you. If you got the antibodies, that's why they ramped up the antibody testing. That has changed. So now if you at work, there's very possible that the antibodies may not be able to protect you. It's possible that you may get infected a second time. So those facts that he said before weren't really facts. Facts don't change that quick, right? So Um, and just to educate you guys on what a fact is. A fact is a statement that can be verified. It can be verified. It also can be proven to be true or false through objective evidence, right? So they not getting objective evidence. They getting evidence from one set of people and saying, hey, this is what it is. And Cuomo is saying, okay, this is the facts. He's saying this is the facts because a doctor told him. Doctors don't know everything. So you will hear Cuomo say all the time, I'm not really a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not this. I'm not that. Don't listen to me. I'm not a doctor. But he's a pilot. He's trying to say when it comes to politics, he's a politician. We should listen to him. But he's not even getting the facts right from the doctors themselves. And to be honest with you, Cuomo was giving us nothing but opinions the entire time. The entire time he was giving the things that he labeled as facts, he was really giving us his opinion. An opinion is a feeling, an attitude, a value of judgment, or a belief. These doctors was giving us a value of judgment of what they think that this coronavirus is or what it may be or all this stuff, because things are changing too quick. Just a couple of weeks ago, they were saying that children wasn't going to be affected by the coronavirus. Now you got this whole Kawasaki and this coronavirus stuff going on. They were saying that if you got antibodies, you're going to be able to come to work because you're not going to be able to get infected a second time. That has also changed. So Cuomo is saying that he's giving us facts and he's really giving us opinions. The bottom line is that facts don't change, especially that quick. What evidence did he base this on? Facts should be based on evidence, especially when it comes to scientific facts. What are these facts based on? And he was just giving us facts. Now everything is changing. And if you notice, Cuomo has been getting rattled and he has been a little bit more humbled in his talk because it's making him look bad. To be honest with you, it's making him look real bad. So with all his facts changing, it seems like every other week his facts are changing. And when his facts aren't changing, he points to Washington and points to Trump and say, Trump, we got this from the CDC. How can we trust him moving forward? How can we take his word moving forward? It's going to be very hard to take his word moving forward. Now, today, I have a special guest. I have a very special guest. And me and this guy have history. Matter of fact, if you guys are watching right now, please share out the show. Please share out the show. You guys want unity. You guys want people to come together. I don't know why people think that I don't want unity. I just don't want people who's not for the members around us. I'm all for unity. Everything I have done, I have included people who wanted to join. My meetings are open to members of the job, every department. This false narrative of that I don't want unity is a lie. What I don't want some corrupt reps who don't care about the members around us. That's what I don't want. So with further ado, give me 1 second. Further ado, we're going to introduce you my guest, Mr. Joe Campbell. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, Jamel? What's up, everybody out there?
I don't know, man. Joe, they wanted unity. So I'm like, yo, me and Joe, it was politics with us. Never hated you or anything like that. So the people wanted unity. They want to see us together. And I just had to make it happen, man. Well, welcome to the show, Joe.
Well, I'm an old friend of the show. I don't know how many shows we've done together, probably about 25 or so. We just leave it at 25. But it's always a pleasure to be back.
I think that you hold the record for
I know.
Aggressive Action appearances.
I feel like Alex Baldwin on Saturday Night Live.
But yo, I just want to say this. I'm happy, that we spoke. We put our differences to the side and betterment of the membership. I think the members deserve us to play on the same team.
I don't think our differences were that much. I don't think that we differed on a lot of things. As a matter of fact, I watch what you post and then what I post, and a lot of times it's the same thing. Maybe a slight different take on what we're looking at, but it's still the same thing. It's like we don't ever agree with something that's hurting us, obviously, and we both know that we're in an abusive relationship with our company and our representation. So for us coming together, I mean, that's only natural. I'm hoping everybody is inspired by this, because going forward, we have to change our representation. We have to give our members a voice out there. And I don't think that we can accomplish that unless we're together, unless we're 100% strong.
And this is a show of strength. You know, as we watch the politics happen within our union and they splitting apart, it's only right that we come together.
Yeah. I mean, I see them dividing and us uniting. So I'm looking at a bright future.
Yeah, I mean, you say you've seen this before too, right?
Oh yeah. This actually happened. A lot of people who don't go back that far into the 90s, the late 90s, and when Roger Toussaint was fired, he was set up by the company on behalf of the union, and I hope that don't happen to you, Jamel, because it was a long road for him to get back, but he did fight his way back in, and he won the presidency. But what a lot of people forget back then, he didn't win against just Willie James. The Willie James administration had splintered, and it was the vice president of TA Surface that initiated that splinter and said he's going to run for president. And then Willie James said, I'm still running for president. And then Toussaint also ran for president as a challenger and wiped them both out.
Oh, wow.
And that was Eddie Melendez, who is the counterpart to JP Patafio. He is the I don't know what they call him over there, chief transportation officer for buses. I don't know the exact term, but he's like a vice president of the company. The guy who did that, who was the vice president of the union 20 years ago.
He retired.
Oh, did he go? Okay.
Yeah,
that was him. That was him.
I think he left like last year sometime.
Okay. Yeah, so that's really what happened. There was a civil war down at the Union Hall, and both sides killed each other.
That's crazy. So, what you think about what's going on with our union right now during this pandemic? What's your thoughts on it?
The worst possible thing. We as members now, we're out there, we're scared. We're looking at an enemy we can't see, and our representation, our voice, is not there. We want it to be there. We're screaming, but it's like we're screaming silently because, I mean, besides for you, Tramel, and your show, and us doing our Facebook posts, there's no voice out there for the members to express our fear, our anxiety, what we deserve. I mean, the union sends emails, but they send it to us. I mean, what's the point in sending us a 10-point plan? Send that to Cuomo, beg your pardon for the language, send that to Cuomo and demand that Cuomo enact a plan based on safety for transit workers. I think it was said at the MTA board meeting, if the MTA can't ensure safety for its employees, then it certainly can't ensure safety for the public. And so far, we haven't seen safety coming to us. And our representation from the union, our voice is not there.
And see, and you know what's crazy? I don't think that the union has ever been challenged like this. This is difficult for everyone, this whole COVID-19 pandemic. But it seemed like they really went into their cave and disappeared on us.
Well, they did because they're afraid of saying anything against the boss. Our union is a company union. They're not going to say anything. They'll send us an email making it sound like, they're fighting, but all they're doing is talking to us. They're not talking to them. And Samuelson's not talking to the federal government like he's supposed to be doing. You have certain bright lights out there that are union leaders that are doing the right thing. Samuelson's not one of them. And what he's doing is he's playing Local 100. and using Local 100 to further his political advancement, but giving very little back to the members, and including right now in a time of emergency, giving us very little voice, the voice that we need.
Yeah, and it's funny because he's doing all these podcast shows, and he's acting like he's Mike Quill, and he's the best thing that happened in unionism and things of that nature. And it bothers me because, to be honest with you, when he be on these podcasts, I email the host and be like, why did you do that? Like, have Samuelson on the line with a worker while he's talking that BS. You know, because that's the only way for us to really, counter what he's saying, because the people who don't know what's going on is making it look like that he is the best thing that happened to New York City. And it's a lie. Like, these guys are in their caves. They are at, what you call it, Castle Montague.
Yes, Castle Montague.
They're at Castle Montague and things of that nature. But I don't want to spend too much time talking about them, because at the end of the day, we got to get them out of there. We know that. But I want to just talk about the future of our union and what's needed to go forward to get these guys out, and what you think should happen with, like, me and you, we good, we together. Who else you think, not naming names, but I don't even know how to phrase this, because I'm tired of talking about those guys. They don't deserve they don't deserve too much light. But do you want to see more unity of people coming together, and hopefully that we inspiring people to come together?
You said something. You quoted Malcolm X last show, and you said something. I never knew Malcolm X said this, and I'm pretty good with quotes, but I always said this, and it was always at the end of every election when people would ask, why did we lose? And I know that the union plays its games, and come on, we all know what they do and stuff like that. But in the end, I tell them that we weren't out numbers. We were out organized. I mean, but in a variation of that, we were out organized. And I'm not saying like that the union organizes and they organize. They don't organize either. They organize their officers, and they organize chairs and stuff like that to lean on members. That's how they organize. We're not going to match their money. Their money comes and flows. I mean, it flows. They collect from everybody that works down there, okay, and rightfully so. They belong to that political party. They should pay for the right to be in it. But the vendors also kick, and I know they do, because I've been offered. I won't say who. I won't drop names. But I refused it because it ain't right. It breaks laws. But they get it. So they have, and I was tired of hearing this from some people saying, well, they have an immense war chest. And these are people that ran with me, that went, down there to the hall on my coattails, coming back and telling me about their war chest. Their war chest is money. It's so hard to out-organize money by the way members perceive candidates based on advertising. So what we have to do is we have to get commitments from members the same way that they get commitments from officers. Because right now what they're doing is they're calling around and they're getting commitments from officers. Do you support our slate going forward? Doing this now in the middle of a pandemic, they are organizing for themselves as we speak. And and I'm not saying they're collecting their money. They already have their money. What has to start now, I mean, today, is people have to commit to being a part of change, a new generation. I want to see a new generation come in. Getting tired. I mean, listen, man, I'm their age, right? But I'm tired of seeing these guys that have been around way too long just taking care of themselves. It's hurting our union. It's hurting our organization. It's painful to watch. So what we need to do is organize going forward from this moment on. I wanted to hold the classes in person. That's kind of hard now. Maybe I could think of a virtual way to do it. But to teach people how to run an opposition election going forward now, that would probably be the first thing we should do.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that people see us together and they want to get involved, You know, they wanna join us because it's full steam ahead from here. You know, you got these guys, these officers, they already started campaigning during the pandemic, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we play from behind, you know, and they already got the resources. They already released. They're already allowed to move whichever way they want to move. You know, they use the media as